Hey guys, Andy here, and today we have another episode of Horror Talk. And in today's episode, we have my Annabelle creation. So, if you want to hear more about my review of this movie, please stay tuned. As always, if you like what I'm wearing, everything's listed in the description box down below, as well as all my socials where you can catch me doing my makeup. So if you do like subscription box unboxings, makeup, and a little bit of horror sprinkled on in, please consider subscribing, hit that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. Let's just go ahead and get into today's review. Alright, so we have my Annabelle creation, which came out in 2017. This has an IMDb rating of 6.5 out of 10, and the storyline goes: doll manufacturer Samuel Mullins is a happy family man with his wife Esther and their daughter Bee, until she dies after being hit by a car. 12 years later, Samuel and Esther welcome a nun and 6 orphaned girls to their home. He tells them that only a locked room that belonged to Bee and Esther's room would be off limits for the girls. The disabled girl, Janice, manages to sneak into Bee's room during the night and finds a doll locked inside a closet. After she plays in the room, she is haunted by an evil force. What has Janice unleashed in Bee's room? I couldn't find a whole lot of trivia on this movie, which is upsetting because the trivia is my favorite part, but I did find 2 pretty interesting pieces. The first one being that this is the first film in the Conjuring cinematic universe where Ed and Lorraine aren't mentioned in any way, which I think is really interesting. When watching the movie, I think that's something I was waiting for the whole time, for them to show up at some point. And at the end, when they don't, it's not really a disappointment, because since this is an Annabelle movie, it does still feel tied to the universe as a whole. But I do feel Ed and Lorraine are very much the stars of this universe of cinematic movies. But it was still, you know, this still feels tied because it has that piece, but it's a little step away. But the other piece of trivia I found was the design framework around the front door of the farmhouse shows regular and upside down crosses, which may symbolize both a holy influence and dark forces in the home. Which, you know, it's one of those things that I don't think I recognized from watching the movie, because I'm not one of those people that watches movies and looks for those small details, so I find that really interesting that they put that in there for maybe somebody to notice. As always, we're just going to go ahead and get into the kill count. If that's not your thing, I totally understand. Go ahead and click on out now. But there were 14 kills in this movie. They were okay. That's my long and short of it. A lot of them, a good majority of them happened off screen, which you know is not my favorite. I want to see what happens, but we have Emily, who was killed by the nurse off screen. We have Catherine, Angela, and Fiona, who were killed by Belith off screen. We have just listed as daughter, or Hiha, who was blasted through the room by Marifer. Unnamed youngest sister, possibly crushed between or impaled by John Blund with 4 umbrellas. That sounds awful. Like, I knew there was something about umbrellas I didn't like. That just sounds horrible. We have 2 unnamed boys killed by the demon. Louisa, killed by the demon. Anna, killed by the demon. Annabelle B. Mullins accidentally ran over by a truck. Samuel Mullins is killed by Malthus using Janice's body off screen. And then Esther Mullins is ripped in half by Malthus using Janice's body off screen. That's the long and short of the movie as a whole. Like I said, this one, disjointed isn't the proper word, because it does still feel like it's part of the universe. And that's probably just because it's an Annabelle movie. I thought it was okay. This is probably one of my least favorite out of the whole cinematic universe. And that's probably just because Ed and Lorraine weren't in it. It doesn't feel as believable as something that could have happened. It doesn't feel as necessary of a film. Like, if you don't watch this one, it doesn't feel like you're missing out on a lot. To me, it almost felt like a throwaway. And, like, I'm not trying to be rude because I enjoy this cinematic universe as a whole. But this one just did not do it for me. And I think this is my least favorite movie. Like, I'm looking at what we have left to cover. Yeah, this is my least favorite movie of the entire cinematic universe. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 2. I'm going to give this one 2 stars because it's just, It's not that great. Like, you could totally skip over this one and you would be totally fine. This would be a movie, like, this does not, and showing you I gave it 2 stars. This does not have anything really to tie it to the flow of the other movies. Like, if you sat down and wanted to watch all of the Annabelle movies, just the Annabelle movies, if you didn't watch this one, I still feel like you would be okay. Because this doesn't really have as much to do with the next one, in my opinion. And it doesn't, like, these people don't have much to do with the universe as a whole. I didn't love it. And that's me being honest. This is my least favorite movie out of the entire universe. That being said, we can only go up from here. Because from here on out, the rest of the movies are great, in my opinion. Like, the rest of the universe from this movie forward are fantastic. Like, they really kicked it off. So I'm super excited. You will be getting an extra episode next week because... or not next week, the following week. For Valentine's Day, the week of Valentine's Day, you'll be getting an extra episode with a special movie just for Valentine's Day. But you will still be getting your regularly scheduled Horror Talk episode. So as always, if you have any movies that you would like me to watch and review, leave them in the comments because I have an ever-growing list of people on TikTok recommending me movies to watch that I need to review. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.